everyone. It's time for Art Time with Mrs. Kime, and today we're going to do a house in one-point perspective. So you're going to need a ruler, a pencil, and a piece of paper, and we're going to get started. We're going to start like we always do. We're going to start by warming up our hands, so rub your hands together, wiggle your fingers, open and close your hands, open and close, roll your wrists one way, and then roll them the other way. Okay, so we're going to start by lining our ruler up with the side of our paper to draw our horizon line. If you did the boxes with me last week, you will remember that we are trying to make our line as straight as possible, and we are not using a T-square. A T-square is a ruler with a side on it that hooks into the side of your paper. We are using a regular ruler. If you have a T-square, great. You can use that. I know most people don't. So I'm going to do this whole drawing with just a regular wooden ruler. So what I do is I line up the edge of my ruler over here with the edge of my paper, and that gives me a better chance of getting a straight line. This is my horizon line. I'm moving it up to the top of my paper because I'm going to put my house over here, and it's going to fill in this part of my paper. So I want to put my horizon line a little higher. So go ahead and draw your horizon line across your paper. And then my vanishing point is going to be on this side of my paper. I would like for my house to fill up this area, so I'm going to put my vanishing point over here. And remember, boys and girls, your vanishing point is not a large circle, it is a small dot. And it is just dark enough for you to see it so that you know to draw to that point. As you can see, mine is very small. I don't want to see big. It's not like you're putting like a giant circle on here, because if you do that, when you're lining up to the vanishing point, you're going to move your ruler to different parts of that circle and your lines aren't going to be straight. So now we're going to start by drawing a box. This starts out just like our other drawing. So we're going to do a box over here on this side of our paper. Use your ruler when you're drawing in perspective. Don't freehand draw the box. You want all your lines to be nice and neat. So make sure that you're doing your best work. I'm just going to draw this box right here. Okay, and if you have a little bit of extra hanging off the edge like I did right here, just erase that. You can just neaten that up. Now we're going to start by drawing this part of our house to the vanishing point. We're going to do this corner. So I'm going to line up this corner with the vanishing point. And remember, boys and girls, your ruler has to touch both of those at the same time. You have to touch both. And when you draw a line using your ruler, you want to lean your pencil up next to the ruler and drag it where you want it to go. And that gives you a nice straight line. We're going to do the bottom of our house right here. So we're going to draw this right here. And we're going to take this line to the vanishing point. Now I'm going to put a roof on here, and there is a very detailed way of drawing an X, finding the center, drawing the apex of the roof. If you know how to do that, you're welcome to. I'm just going to draw a roof shape on here just to keep it less complicated and also for time. So I'm going to just draw. I'm just going to eyeball it. Sometimes we have to do that in art. Sometimes we have to just eyeball things. But I am just going to draw an angle line here. And then I'm going to come over here and draw an angle line and meet it here. And that is going to be the top of my house. So now I have the top of my roof, and I want the roof to go to the vanishing point. So again, my ruler has to touch that part, has to touch that corner and my vanishing point at the same time. I'm going to put my pencil in here, and I'm going to drag my pencil up to the vanishing point, and there's the top of my roof. Now when we did our boxes last week, we talked about lines needing to be parallel, and parallel lines are two lines that run side by side but they never cross. It's very important to remember that, especially when you're drawing a house. So what I want us to do is we're going to start with the side of our house first. We're going to line our ruler up with the side of our house. I want my line, the edge of my house, to be parallel. I don't want my house to be crooked. I don't want to have one edge straight and the other edge crooked. I'm going to line it up here. I'm going to slide my ruler all the way over, like for my house to be this big. And now I'm going to draw this line right here. That's going to be the edge of my house. Now this one's a little tricky, and you're going to have to be very careful about this line, because this line is angled. And when you slide your ruler, you don't want to slide it this way, and when you slide it, you don't want to slide it that way. You want to line up your ruler. I want this line to be parallel back here. So I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to carefully push with both fingers till I get to here. And then I'm going to draw this line right here. So now these lines are parallel right through here. So now we're going to erase the lines that go back to the vanishing point. We don't need them now. I'm going to take these off. So this is my house in 1-point perspective. I'm going to add some windows and some doors. I'm going to show you how to do that. It is going to be the same concept that we have been doing with our other parts of our house. So now we're going to draw a door. I would like for my door to be right here. So I'm going to decide that, remember, all these lines have to be parallel. So my door has to be parallel with the side of my house. I'm going to put it right here. So there is one side of my door. Now I'm going to line up the top of my door. It has to go to the vanishing point. Remember, everything has to go to the vanishing point. The vanishing point is your best friend. And I'm just going to draw a slight line here. I don't want it to go all the way, even though I've touched the vanishing point with my ruler and I've touched the side of this door with my ruler. I don't have to draw that line all the way up there. I know I need my door to just be about a little bit smaller than this, so I'm just going to draw part of that line. So here I'm going to line up with the side of the door. I'm going to slide it over, and I'm going to draw this line in here. Okay, that is my door. Now I'm going to do two windows. I'm going to do a window on this side and this side to the vanishing point. I want you to try as much of this as you can. If you're in my art class, I want you to do as much of this as you can. If you need help, I remember we can always help you. The window is going to be the same thing as the door. So I need my lines to be parallel here, sliding it over. I'm going to draw one side of that window. Now I'm going to draw the top, line up the top of the window to the vanishing point, and I'm just going to draw a little bit of this right here. Okay, just a little. Now I'm going to line up the bottom of the window to the vanishing point, and I'm just going to draw part of this. I don't need the whole thing. And then I'm going to take my ruler, line it up with the side, slide it over, and draw this line right here. And if I just missed it, then I'm just going to take my ruler and add a little bit more. I can make this go a little bit taller, and I can bring that line over a little bit more. I can add that part right back in. So now I'm going to draw a window over here. It's the exact same thing. If this is confusing to you, remember to stop and rewind and watch it again and again. It'll help you to understand. I'm going to put a window right here. And I want my windows to be on the same part of the house. So I'm going to line up this window that I drew over here, my first window, to the vanishing point, because I want to make sure my windows are lined up right. So there, that way those will end up on the same line. Now I'm going to line up the vanishing point with this line with this other window, my first window. Then I'm going to draw this line right here, and that way my windows are even. Then I can draw a line up here with this side of the window, slide it over. I'm going to draw this line in, and now I have a house with two windows and a door. And we can add a street in front of here. Now I don't want my house to open out onto the street. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 lines for a road, and I'm going to, the vanishing point, I'm just going to draw a line here, and then I'm just going to draw a line right here, and there's my road. And then I can have a driveway if I want that comes off of the road, and it can go behind my house. So I'm just going to draw a line here, and I'm going to slide it back and draw a line here. And then I can have a walkway that comes off my front door. Right there. I can have it to go to the street, or I can even add a sidewalk in front. If I'd like a sidewalk in front of my house, and then I can go back and add that walkway going to my sidewalk. I'm gonna have to go back and add a little bit. I have to put down this. So we're gonna line this back up again. Remember, boys and girls, in perspective, if you move your ruler, you can always go back to where you were. Just line your ruler back up with your line. You can always go back and add it. So I'm going to do my walkway over here. This is my sidewalk. I'm going to put another one right here. Now a sidewalk, as the visual clue that it's a sidewalk, we're going to need, I'm going to darken this line up, and you can see how I do this, where I reline my ruler up and put that right there. So a sidewalk usually has lines that go this way. Those are going to be parallel lines. Remember that they go here, so I'm going to put them here and this side at the same time. Then I'm going to slide my ruler up a little bit, and I'm going to add a line here and here. And I'm just adding the lines into my sidewalk here. And I'm going to move it back. Now, in perspective, when things get further away, they get smaller, but things also start to get close together. So as you are moving your ruler back, the closer you get to your vanishing point, these lines are going to need to get closer together. So you can do that. You can just start making them a little bit closer together. And just keep doing that all the way to the vanishing point. For the sake of time, I'm going to not have us do, I'm not going to keep drawing these all the way back. But you can add those and make them go all the way to the vanishing point. Then I can come back here and add this walkway to the sidewalk. I've decided to add that. It's okay to go back and add things in perspective. You can go back and add lines. Just line your ruler back up and add those lines. Now you can add all kinds of detail to this. Remember, as things get closer to the vanishing point, they get smaller. So if you decide to add trees, your trees in the front of your paper are going to be larger than the trees back here. You can add mountains back here if you would like as a scene. You can add a sunset. You decide what you want to add to your work. I just wanted you to see how to draw this house. This is a basic house in 1-point perspective. You add whatever details you want to, and I hope you had a great time today with Art Time with Mrs. Kime, and I will see you next time.